game time decision just in general when you played him? What makes him such a tough competitor?
Well, he's been one of the best team men in the league for a long time. He can do it at both ends of the ice. Offensively, he's been elite, and he's one of those guys that no one wants to play against. He's so big, so long, so mobile, so takes up a lot of space, and he eats a lot of minutes.
Do you think about the fact that if he plays, he's not 100%, or is that something you want to keep out of your mind?
No, I think that we're focused on our game. If he's playing, if he's not playing, if he's 100% or not, we got a lot to control on our end. We don't need to be worrying about that.
What do you make of the response from the group after Game 2, right? You know, one way you have to respond to Game 1. Now, what do you make of how the group's handling this?
It was huge. I mean, that's what you'd like to see. At home, Game 2, coming off of a really poor first performance, that was a big win for us, and it's only going to get harder from here coming into Tampa.
When Vasilevsky comes off a loss and gets to play well, what do you expect to be the challenge tonight against him?
Well, he's another guy who's been doing it at a high level for a long time, so he's won Stanley Cups, he's won everything that you can win at that position, and we got to make it hard on him all night. I thought we did a good job of getting in and around the net last game, and we've got to continue to do that because we know that him and their team is going to be a lot better tonight.
When you say that you expect it to get harder, in what ways do you think that'll be the case?
Well, we're playing in Tampa as opposed to in front of our home crowd, coming off of Game 1 loss. There was obviously you'd expect a big response from our team. We had one, and this is a team that doesn't. This Tampa team is a team that doesn't lose 2 games in a row in the playoffs very often. So to string a couple games together, that's what you need to do in playoff series, and that's what we need to do tonight.
What do you think allowed you guys to find your game after just such a difficult way to lose the opener?
I think the start was huge, probably, right? Like, draw a penalty early on, Mitch shoots one in. That gets the crowd into it, gets us feeling good. We weathered the storm there for a little bit, found a couple more to go in, and then the game starts rolling, and that was big, but just the details of our game were a lot better.
I think this is the most physical version of the Leafs since you've been here.
Probably, yeah.
You'll have last change, obviously. If you're out there against that point line, what's the key for your group?
Well, keeping pointing, staying above his speed, keeping Kucherov out of the middle of the ice, and just knowing where they are. They don't need a lot of time and space in the offensive zone to get pucks on net and to be really dangerous there, so you've got to know where they are at all times and then limiting their speed in transition.
I asked William about your line. He said, "We're back." You guys do seem to have some mojo in these big games. Like, what just clicked in for you when you've been together?
I don't know. We've played together quite a bit the last couple of years. Enjoy playing with those guys. So I think that it adds a little bit more excitement when you're back with them. And we just got to keep rolling and keep playing well together.
Thank you. Tampa tonight.
Well, I think if you look at it so far, I think each team would say they had one good one, one bad one. So it'll be. I think you'll see the best of both teams tonight, and expecting a hard game again, tighter game, all those sorts of things. But we got to worry about ourselves and worry about our game, and trying to keep building on what we think our level can be at.
Cooper told us that the Hedman's a game time decision. What's the difference of a Tampa lineup with him in it?
We can't think about who's in or who's out. Honestly, we just have to. Think about how we get in on the forecheck, how we're more aggressive last game. We sustain more pressure, and those are the little things we have to do. Obviously, he's been one of the best D-men in the league for over 10 years now for a reason, but you can't get into the what-ifs. You just got to think about your own game at that point.
As an opponent, what's the best way to handle Corey Perry and what he brings?
Yeah, you got to play him hard. I think, obviously, through the first 2 games, he's feeling good. He's feeling comfortable out there, and we've got to make him more uncomfortable. He's a guy who obviously lives around the net and makes plays around the net, but we have to play him a lot harder.
How did you see that sequence with the fight that you ended up, I guess, with Bogosian? Maybe you weren't expecting that, but how did you see that play out in the last game?
Yeah, just scrum in front and emotions in the game. It was not much more than that. I didn't see anything that I haven't seen before.
What does it do for the bench when you see other guys getting into it, like not only Luke but also Justin?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of energy, a lot of emotion from our side. I thought more so than game one, we didn't feel like we did a good job of that in game one. So we got to a better level, and I think we can even get we got to clean some things up, and we can even get better both in the emotional side of the game, but also in details and little things and playing harder. So we got to keep building it. We've been here before, 1-1 against this team, and we know exactly what type of game they want to play. They know what type of game we want to play. It's about getting to our game and executing and feeling good.
Ryan, what sort of response are you expecting from the Lightning tonight?
Oh, definitely think they're going to come out, obviously very strong. Obviously they start well here too. It's going to be physical. It'll be physical, a lot of emotion. Last game obviously wasn't what they wanted, so expect a hard response from them. The challenge for us is matching that intensity, matching that physicality right away, and it's going to be an emotional game.
What is a game-time decision? If he plays, how does that change the dynamic of their lineup?
The lineups are the lineups. We can't control what's over there. We have to stick to kind of our game plan and playing them hard. Whether he's in the lineup or not, we have to focus on every single guy being physical against and doing the right things against them, not giving them anything easy. Obviously he's a phenomenal player, one of their key pieces over there. But regardless of that, whether he's in or not, we have to play everyone just as hard.
What will the hallmarks be of a good road game tonight for the team?
We got to get off to a good start. I think that's one thing we talked about. Like I said, matching the intensity, matching the physicality that they have right away. Just staying in the details. The game's momentum's going to shift at different times. It's just staying kind of even keel, focusing on the little things at a time as they come up.
How do you feel Nye's handled? He said he was dealing with some nerves. You helped him. What did you make of how he handled everything the other night?
Oh, I thought he played a great game. He made so many good plays, and you just see him against the puck. He's just so dynamic. It's even though we didn't get on the board probably like we wanted to, but that's going to come. We keep doing things the right way, and he's such an intelligent player, a strong player, and you can just see he's just as he progresses. Every game I see him, he's just taking steps in the right direction. It's fun to watch.
What's going through your mind when Pat's trying to get your attention there in the third period?
That's just, it's obviously late in the game. The game's pretty much wrapped up at that point. Just him trying to start some stuff. It is what it is. It's just him and then Kim just goofing around, and it is what it is.
He says it's weird to play you, because you're his best friend. What's it like for you to go see him on the other side?
Yeah, it's we won't see each other really or talk until kind of after the series is over. But obviously a very close friend, but not in this 2-week span here. We're nothing but enemies, and we're both in the way of kind of us advancing. And obviously when it's over, we'll communicate then. But that's just the way playoffs is. It goes for everyone like that.
Hedman is a game-time decision. If he does play, just how does that change the dynamic of the matchup in their team?
Well, obviously he's a significant piece of their team, but he's a guy we're used to playing against. So we went into last game assuming he was going to play. Go into today's game assuming he's going to play doesn't change our mindset.
How would you describe the team's mindset?
Well, obviously we feel good coming out of the last game, but I think we've been through enough, whether it's game one of this series or what we've been through historically. We know that it gets harder from here, and that's what the message has been, is that we've got to continue to play better. You still watch the game, and you look for things that you can clean up. You look at trends and things like that, and you try to keep improving a little bit every single game. That's really what's going to be required. You can't take a step back.
Any lineup changes?
Maybe.
The number of fights surprise you? I mean, I know the playoffs are always more physical, but the number of fights in game two surprise you?
Not really. The way that the game was going, obviously they sent Giordano off the bench to pick the fight with Luke, and that kind of set the tone, I thought, for the rest of the go there. But our guys stood their ground.
Sheldon, I was talking to another coach the other day who said over the years he's realized he loves coaching on the road from the perspective of not having last line Jays kind of simplifies the game flow for him because there's only so much you can do. Have you found that as well, or?
Yeah, I have. I think there are some advantages to it for sure. That you just your guys just go for the most part. But there's some things you can do, especially if the opponent. Sometimes the opponent doesn't really care about the matchups, but if you're playing against a coach that is really concerned about the matchup, sometimes you can determine the matchup based on who you put over, and there's some of that it can sometimes work in your favor too. So we'll see how it goes here today, but like I talked about the other night, especially when the camp line's playing the way that they did in Game 2, which we've come to expect from them, and when that's the case, we find that our group can really get going.
You've highlighted John Tavares' growth defensively. On the road, how do you assess his ability to kind of handle that now? And, if he's seeing a steady dose of, point tonight?
Yeah, I mean, John's used to getting that. I mean, over the last 2-3 seasons, he's generally been the guy that gets the tougher matchups on the road. So, managing that is partially on him. Part of that's on me. That's part of why we've had different looks with our lines, and with John being moved to the wing or having different line mates. A lot of that has been, over the last stretch of games, has been to manage those types of situations. So, we'll see how it goes here tonight. But obviously, John having the type of game that he did the other day with he and Will, that changes a lot when those guys are going the way they are, just like the camp group when they're going. When John or Will are going like that too, it changes a lot for both us and the opposition.